folks don't need an introduction, but I will anyways. It's Karen and Dave. What's your YouTube channel name?
Watts on Wheels.
Watts on Wheels.
Are you guys RVing full time?
Yeah.
This is year 7.
Is this your first unit, or it's been 7 years?
Yeah, this is number 2.
Number 2. So what was the other one you had before?
It was a combi camper.
A combi?
A combi camper.
Ooh, okay. I'm not familiar with that then.
They were made in Sweden, and it's like a pop-up trailer.
Smaller than.
It's
a utility trailer.
Yeah.
Oh,
that
cool.
unfolds a tent and unfolds a tent, and that's it.
It unfolds instead of pops up and all that.
Oh, those are pretty cool. What is your YouTube channel all about?
I'd say, go ahead.
Well, we started it just because we wanted our friends and family to know where we're at and what we're doing, because we're all over the United States. Our family's all over the United States. And we started doing some YouTube videos, and I'm like, dang, there's people I don't know making comments.
Who are these strange people?
And then started to look up at what YouTube was really about. I'm like, well, hey, if we're going to do this, let's do it,
That's
so,
nice.
Yeah, we figured, it's all about the camping and campground, especially with a big rig.
Yeah.
And then that just kind of progressed to him breaking things so he can get beer and fix them.
Okay, the secret's out.
And then,
It's all about the beer.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's always the good, the bad, and the ugly, so we always want to share that with people, because it's not always fun RVing, regardless of what, if you have a tent or a big rig, doesn't matter.
Right.
And then start throwing a couple recipes in now and then, and just stuff that happens.
Wow, that's pretty
I think it
cool.
was, too, that the people we met down the road,
Yeah.
and people who have rigs like ours, and then we got into the HDT community and started talking with them, and then it kind of mushroomed out of there, and
Yeah.
it just keeps going.
Wow, that's nice.
The rallies really help promote the whole idea.
Is
And of course, we studied YouTube probably a year and a half prior to us even buying a rig, on people who are full-time RVing, and what kind of rigs you might want to have. And so it just progressed as time went on.
So I blame YouTube for
You're
this.
playing YouTube.
They talked us into this.
No, they talk to you. Well, I tell you, it's interesting. A lot of folks started like you for their family, but then it ended up to be more adventurous with YouTube,
Yeah.
and that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
But let me ask you then, when it comes to your rig, so you have currently what type of RV model you have right now?
This is the 38 RSB3
Mobile Suites.
Mobile Suites.
Made by DRV, and it's a 2015.
2015?
We bought it used, sight unseen.
Sight unseen. Wow. You guys have names for the different toys. So what's the name?
Dixie.
Dixie, especially with the big D, right? I'm sorry?
Comes from the land of Dixie.
Oh, there you. Oh, okay. And what are some of your other toys that you bring RV in, and their names that you have?
Well, let's see. We've got our
Tote.
and
Freedom Hauler.
Freedom Hauler to carry the Smart, and the Freedom Hauler's name is Tater Tot.
Tater Tote.
Tater Tote. Pardon me. Tater Tote.
Love
And
it.
of course, the car on it, the little smart car, Zippy.
Zippy.
Everybody knows Zippy.
Yeah.
And then we have Leroy, which is our Volvo 780 truck that we use to pull it all.
A 2009.
Yeah, 2009.
And we named that after my father because he was an adventurous kind of guy.
Oh, okay. That's where the Leroy comes from.
Where Leroy came from.
Okay.
And then we have the 2 Can-Am bikes. And mine is called Bucket List, and Karen's name on hers is Southern Comfort.
Ooh, I like that. Huh, any relations to the little...
Maybe.
Okay, all right.
Maybe.
Sounds good. Why did you guys pick this RV for full-time living?
Ooh, I could tell that story.
Go ahead. You go, girl.
Well, we had been through Camping World and all these different camping places and looked at probably hundreds of RVs over that year and a half I was telling you about. And then we went to the Tampa show. And when we were down the Tampa show, actually we were a little disappointed in what we were seeing there. It just seemed like we were expecting a higher quality. And it's like, seemed cheap. Things you could close the door and everything else would rattle. And it just, And we were actually getting ready to leave. There was a few that we thought would be okay, but we were just a little disappointed. Right before we left, Dave had gone a different direction and caught up with me. He says, come here, I want to show you something. And I go, what is it? He goes, it's called a DRV, a Mobile Suites. And I go, okay, let's go look at that. And walked in and I went, finally, something with cabinets made out of wood and
Yeah, solid wood.
3-inch thick insulation in the walls, and it just felt higher quality, and we liked the looks of it. At that point, we started doing a little more research on it, and then that's why being it with the DRV.
Yeah.
But why did you select the HDT?
Safety.
Safety.
Safety. I did a lot of research online. I put on my white coat, my lab coat, and did some research. That this thing weighs what,
23,000 completely full.
23,000 full.
Wow.
And then plus we have the bikes. Those are almost 1,000 pounds a piece, and then the Smart, which is almost 2,000 pounds, and then the Tote, which is almost 1,800 pounds. That's a lot of weight rolling down the road. And Newton's cradle. If you drop one ball comes out. Well, if you drop two balls come out.
Yeah.
And with a dually pickup truck, they're what, 8,000, 10,000 pounds?
Yeah.
Physics don't line up.
Yeah.
So with the truck, I got 30,000 pounds there that'll stop it.
Nice.
And it's got bigger brakes, bigger tires, bigger motor. Don't have to worry about going up and down hills.
Mountains.
And everything's automatic in it. Yeah, I mean,
I like that.
You set it and go.
So because of you guys, I am considering an HDT. So I'll just say it.
I tell you, it'd be a smart move.
Yeah.
Well, and when you really start pricing them out, it's like they're really that low used. Wow.
Yeah, you can buy a good HDT, without the bed and all that, just the tractor.
Yeah.
For probably about 40,000.
Just recently switched it up. Just bought theirs for about 65,000.
Yeah, well, they got a low mileage one then.
It looks almost new, and
Yeah.
it's incredible.
Well, we bought ours with 600,000 on it.
They had 400. Yeah, low mileage. They had 400 and something thousand on it.
Yeah, that's low.
Yeah.
That's low.
Yeah.
They'll go 1,000,000 miles before any real service has to happen to them.
Right.
We've run across people that have been full time, and they're already saying, "Well, this is my third dually," because I tore the transmission out of it, or this or that.
Where the brakes out.
Yeah.
So,
And we have camped in just the truck before, just a couple times on short trips. It's also come in handy if we had to have work done in this, someplace to live while we're having work done, that sort of thing. So,
Ooh, that's a good point.
we've gone to more or less a local park for the weekend to meet up with some friends or whatever. We'll just take the truck.
yeah.
It's got the bunk sleepers in it, and a little dinette, refrigerator, and a microwave and a TV, and
No bathroom.
and porta potty.
It does have a porta potty.
It's got a porta potty.
Yeah,
but
porta potty.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because it's registered as a motorhome, so you have to.
Doesn't require CDL to drive that.
Nope, it's registered as a motorhome.
Is a motorhome. Is that because the state you live in, or is that like
You could do that in any state,
in any state? Okay.
as far as I know. The one thing they don't want to see is a commercial hitch on it.
Okay, so what does a commercial hitch looks like?
It's that big horseshoe-looking plate on the back
Okay. Yeah, for the kingpin.
for the kingpin.
That's considered commercial
that's
pin?
Considered a commercial hitch, but I have a fifth wheel hitch, which is way smaller.
So then this is what you were talking about, non-commercial.
Right.
It's the small head.
That's a fifth wheel hitch there.
And obviously, we don't use it for commercial reasons.
Plus, it has on the side of it a private RV, not for hire.
When it comes to the RV, what is the one thing that is a must-have?
To the RV,
It's a must-have you can't do without. Because this video is going to also be catered to those that are considering full-time living for the first time. So with that in mind, what is a must-have?
for me, it would be AC.
Okay.
Because you RV in warmer climates, I would think. At least
Yeah.
that's the whole point of it.
Right.
So
Okay.
that thing can be a sweat box on it.
This is probably not my real answer, but I'd say king size bed.
That's number 2.
Well, no,
Get yourself a good mattress.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But king size. I used to say washer and dryer, because full timing, a washer and dryer, but we've had so many issues with the leaky washer.
Have you?
Now I'm starting to
Oh,
wonder,
yeah.
maybe not. But I really, full timing, I really appreciate having the washer and dryer, so I don't have to pile up everything and go
Yes.
into town and, do all that. Not a need, but a really high want would be the lithium batteries.
Yeah.
What would be the one thing that you can do without, that you can care less about, that came with it, the RV?
I don't like the oven because I use it for storage, and it's hot. He has to lay on the floor to light it. So that's
To get all this down on the floor and back up.
so we have the microwave convection oven, and I would prefer to use the convection oven versus the microwave. But it sucks. You really got to spend some bucks for a good convection oven microwave, and I could probably tear my oven out and not even care and put drawers in instead.
So that could be the one thing.
That could be probably the one thing.
Dave, for you, can you mention to us, or perhaps have a sneak peek of what's going on in your mind for future fabrications? Because you're very creative.
Well, I have to finish the lift I started
For the spiders.
for the spider lift on the back of the
Yeah,
truck.
that was incredible.
But where I fabricated it at, the guy who owns the place wasn't too happy with me doing it there, so I kind of got tossed.
Oh,
And I won't have a place to do it till we get back.
gotcha. It's one of those, ask for forgiveness.
We're really looking forward to it, because if you've ever seen the videos on how we get the spiders up and down, it's a lot of running around work, getting on your knees.
Carry this, that, shuffle.
Yeah, and it moving stuff around. It's just,
I mean, we look like ants on an anthill
Yeah.
doing it.
with what he's designing, you'll be able to ride up on the ramp on the ground, pick it up, put it over, come back down, do it again. Just
Yeah.
right off the ground.
So
you
that's
don't-
genius.
Yeah, so he's pretty smart.
I'm
No,
getting too old to
no.
lift ramps and carry ramps everywhere and all that.
Yeah, 7 years ago, that was pretty good. I mean,
Yeah.
it was, but,
Yeah, I was a young man 7 years ago. Right now I'm working on a system for the basement.
Uh-huh.
I want to put hooks and hangers and slots and to store everything.
Yeah.
Because right now it's just all
Yeah.
a big pile.
Gotcha. So right now will be a perfect opportunity to make sure, hey, you subscribe to their channel, because both of them are very creative when it comes to the design, but then Karen, when it comes to cooking your food, it looks incredible. I just saw the shrimp you did, and then you have brownie. So what's the inspiration behind that? You love to cook, I take it.
I like to cook, and it's just sometimes I'll come across something that is different, or I learn something new, and it's like, give it a try and let's videotape it. I don't do that many of them, but I try to do things that are different. And the shrimp one, really like that one because 2 minutes from frozen,
Yeah.
and man, are they good.
Oh, yeah.
And we just found out you can do that with crab as well. And
We're
in fact,
thinking about lobster.
I'll do it eventually once
Yeah.
we can afford crab and wait for Kroger to
Right.
have it on sale, or some
Right.
grocery store have it on sale. We'll do it again. But I told a friend of ours about it, and she called me up, and she said, "I just did your crab in the instant pot." And she goes, "I got to ask you a question." I go, "What?" And she said, "When you cracked open the legs, did the whole pieces of meat come out?" And I said, "Yeah." And she goes, "Us too." She goes, "Never had them, every single one." I said,
that
"Instant
nice?
pot.
Yep.
Love the instant pot. Love
Yep.
the air fryer."
Yep. This video is going to be, again, for those that are considering full-time living for the first time. They want to know the good, the bad, and the ugly. What has been one of the worst moments in RVing for you guys? One of the worst moments. And I'm not talking about trying to squeeze into a campsite where the car's blocking you and in the street. I'm talking about one of the worst moments in RVing.
Blowout.
Blowout?
Yeah.
We've had three
Blowouts.
blowouts.
Yeah, I saw the one that you had in a 2-lane highway.
Yeah, that was.
That was Wyoming.
No, 2-lane high. Oh, yeah, one in Wyoming, but there's one in.
By the
The
Tetons.
one on I-10 in Arizona
Was the worst.
the one that did the most damage. Because we ended up having to replace the bottom skirting
Ooh, yeah.
and
Wiring.
He had to
gas lines and everything.
MacGyver all this stuff out on the highway with traffic going by.
And they don't give you a break out there.
No, and we had the orange cones out and the whole thing, but yeah, they just come screaming on by, and he's out there with the gas line, the water line, power lines, all this stuff is just hanging in there, and we have to duct tape, the skirting up and everything, and of course we got to change the tire, and of course it's on the side that you're on the highway.
Then we're on the other side.
Tip: go for the good tires. It was recommended by a lot of people. Can't say it's the best, but for us it has been the Continental J rated.
Yeah.
And we haven't had a bit of problem with that. We have not had any blowouts
Since then.
since then. Yeah.
The ice storm in Texas.
Ooh.
We got caught 2 years ago. They had that big ice storm in Texas, and we got caught smack dab in the middle of it. And you're driving down the ice-filled highway, and a lot of people in Texas don't know how to drive on ice. So,
Well, they don't have the salt and all the stuff for
they
it. you know?
don't have the equipment to do anything with it. So
Wow.
it was 8 hours of white knuckling it.
Yeah. We never made it to our destination.
No.
We were looking for where can we go and stop and stay, and we finally found a Walmart. But we were probably on the road a long time before we could get off.
Yeah, like I said, 8 hours, and we were probably doing 25 miles an hour.
And it was like, how cold did it get? 3 degrees or
3
something?
degrees, yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
we got videos on that and how we survived too.
Yeah.
What would you like to say to those that are considering getting into full-time RV living?
I would say give it a try. When we first considered this, we thought we would go rent an RV and go out west and just try it out and see if we liked it. But the more and more we watched other people's videos and talked to other people, and we're like, you know what? Let's try it. And it wasn't with the little combi camper, but that's when we decided to get the big truck and decided to sell the house.
We want to thank David and Karen from What's on Wheels for being so gracious for doing this interview, especially while being on vacation for us. Thank you. So we will have more content in which we will create a second video, and it's going to be all about Leroy, the HDT from What's on Wheels. But in the meanwhile, in the description below, we're going to be adding the links of their videos, so like that you can find it easy. And if you haven't done so, subscribe to their channel and follow their journey. Now, if you're new to my channel, I would appreciate if you can subscribe and then hit the all bell black button, so like that you can get notified when we put out our latest videos. If you like our videos, if you would be inclined to give us a thumbs up, I would appreciate it, because this will help our channel. Also, let us know in the description below if you would like more content like this, or perhaps maybe reviews of RVs. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
I'm just a pretty face.
Beautiful.